looking for someone that's gonna hold a king down. I've been looking for someone that's gonna hold a king crown. I've been looking for somebody that would make me feel complete. I've been looking all my life, I wonder where could she be. I've been looking for someone that's gonna hold a king down. I've been looking for
Welcome to the kingdom where we provide the black, grown, and unfiltered perspective on life, love, and everything in between. I am Tony G, and this is King to Queen Talk. We appreciate y'all joining us. As you see, I have some special guests here. So I'll start with my left. Queen, introduce yourself.
Hey y'all, it's K-Speak tapping in from No Division Uncut. I'm back.
All right, and to my right.
It's Alycia, your coif rejuvenator, where I will get your hair and your brows back together. In the meantime, I'll give you some empowerment as well.
All right. So as you see, I have two beautiful queens next to me. We have some hot topics we're going to get into, some question of the days. Then we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of the situation. You understand me? So we're going to talk about dressing how you want to be addressed. That's the title of today's episode. Okay? And we're going to get opinions on that. That's something that's been really going through all social media right now. But before we get to that main topic, of course we do question of the days. So on Facebook along with Instagram, you will see us put the question of the day up. We get a lot of people who give their opinion. So make sure if you haven't commented, make sure you comment, because you never know, we might feature your comment on an episode such as this. Right? So we're going to start with one, then we're going to go to the next one. Y'all just let me know what you think. We're going to read a few of the comments, and then we're going to get into it. So, in a recent viral video, actress Vivica A. Fox revealed that her ex, rapper 50 Cent, was her one true love. Do you believe that you can only have one true love, or do you think multiple true loves is possible? So before I get these queens' opinions, let's read a few of these comments in here, alright? So, 2 Chainz Girl says, you can definitely love multiple people. It depends on the person. The love you have for everyone is different. But people be scared to be vulnerable, so they usually just hold on to that one person, and that's where this idea of one true love comes from. Another person says, pardon my press, says Vivica wasn't in love, she was in infatuation. Notice though, the only ones that talk about quote-unquote true love are usually the ones who lost it. They aren't able to bounce back and get back in the game to open themselves to new people and experiences. One last person. Meek_Brose says, it all depends on the person. That is why the question of monogamy versus polygamy has been roaming the streets. Some people are serial monogamous, so they can only have one true love. And other people will have that free love as to where they will have multiple true loves in their life. Life is a duality, so I believe you can have multiple true loves and still be faithful to one. It's just a question now, can people handle having multiple loves and being faithful to one? Vivica Fox has been posting 50 Cent on her social media. Yeah. Though he currently is in a relationship, she keeps posting multiple pictures of 50 Cent talking about her in a way that is, you know, back when they were in a relationship. She then does an interview, and the person, I guess, asked her, you know, have you been in love? And she's like, my one true love was 50 Cent. And she's like, you know, that's one thing I feel like we could have worked if we didn't, I guess, come out to the public so quickly. But because we had multiple people in our ears, we were young, it didn't work out.
I think they ended dirty. They ended bad though.
They were both young.
They were
so, but the foundational question is, do you believe that a person can have only one true love in life, or do you think they can have multiple ones? What are your thoughts?
I don't know, I gotta let that simmer.
Need to marinate? Alright, what you think, Lee?
So, it's funny because Vivica Fox went to my high school.
Oh, wow.
And we are 2 degrees separated, meaning I know someone who knows her.
Oh, wow.
And I think you can find a true love on whatever level you're on. And I think she refers back to 50 Cent because that's the last time she felt love the way she felt it but she can find someone to love her the same way on this level.
The level that she currently is
that
on.
she's currently at. I think they wouldn't even say, for instance, he wasn't dating and they happened to get back together, it would be polar opposite.
You think
Because
so?
listen, I read the man's book and he read the book when I listened to it. So I didn't read it, I listened to it. He's not the same 50 Cent. Everybody sees him as petty. He's petty because it's funny to him. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You know, some people are just like, I don't care, I'm gonna be petty. But I think I have so much, after listening to his book on Audible, I have so much respect for him.
I respect him, his business.
Business-wise, but if you listen to the book, you will respect 50 Cent.
What book?
So do you?
He released the book last year.
So do you think he's changed for the better, like as in I've grown, or do you think he's been stagnant and maybe she has grown to a place where?
I think they both have grown.
Okay.
They've both grown in their own lanes, and sometimes your lane, you don't grow like this. You don't grow like this. You don't grow like that. You grow. This is how we live life, and we grow. You know, you have your ebbs and flows, and I think as you elevate in life, like I love my first love, both of them. Love them like everything. But if they were to show up in my life today, we're not the same people. I still got love for you.
That's real.
I still have got love for you and love you. But it's not meant for today.
That's fair. And here's the thing. A lot of times it's seasonal as far as are you catching each other at the right time, right?
Exactly.
Because I may be in a different season of my life that doesn't even allow me the mental or emotional or spiritual capacity to even receive
The love that
you're trying to give.
You better talk about
You get what I'm saying? So it's all about timing, you know, when it comes to love and relationships. But I will say, Vivica is not the first person to come out and say that 50 Cent is like a legit good dude.
Listen,
after Chelsea Handler.
This
Look, but that's the one who said
Even
vote for
he mentioned
Biden, and
but
I'll
he
get back
mentioned
with
her.
you.
But he mentions her in the book.
Who, Chelsea?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the one. Okay.
It's something about 50 Cent today. I don't know much about what he has said in the past when he came out, before he got shot, all of that. But he is in a place of healing, of being healed and whole. And that puts you in a totally different perspective.
That's what's up. Yeah, it does.
You know, I saw this video the other day, and the lady was like, I was just standing in the hallway, and 50 Cent comes by and looks at me, looks up and down. It sounded like 50 Cent, but she was standing in front of the man's bathroom. Like, he was just like, can I go to the bathroom?
Right.
So, go ahead.
So I think he's humorous. I think he's sarcastic. He's probably a great guy.
Right.
He probably always has been. Like, the petty part, if you think about it, if we're in one-on-one, people could call me petty, but you wouldn't call me that because you were there and you could see what was going on.
Yeah.
Right. So he probably was just a great guy.
I believe he's a great guy, but I do believe he's petty as hell.
Oh, he's petty.
He's petty.
And I love it.
So I've met
Niggas like that and Cubans like that. Y'all, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Both of them are, Vivica ain't, they grown, but they still got them petty ways.
Oh, yeah.
So I've had a similar experience, not seeing 50 at the bathroom, but him walking up, like I was at work. I was talking to one of my coworkers, and you know how you feel somebody like on the back of your neck? It was kind of one of those things where my back was turned and I felt somebody behind me, and in the way that the person who I was talking to was turned, they would not have seen who was walking down. And so I was on the jet bridge of a plane. Everyone had already boarded the plane, and so my back was turned to the door. The other person was kind of at an angle, so they wouldn't have been really paying attention the way we were speaking. And so I just felt somebody behind me, and I go like that, and I do a double take. It's 50 Cent. And one of my other coworkers, and I was like, what's up? And I will say, he has a very intimidating presence.
Let me tell you, from the book, he does it on purpose.
Yeah.
But listen,
Yeah.
I'm not even, he ain't paying me. Go listen to the book.
I got you. But what I will say, here's the thing. This is what I found very interesting. He said what's up to me, and it was like in an air like, yeah, little nigga. Like that's how it came off.
But you know,
no, hold on, but let me finish.
Say it with your chest.
Yeah, but let me finish. Let me finish.
Because he said it with a smile too.
Let me finish what I'm saying. So no, he didn't smile at me, but it was just the way he did it. I was just like, okay. So we get on the plane. There's an old white lady sitting in the seat. Now, most celebrities will sit in 1A or 1D, as in Delta.
Windows.
So windows, but in the first row. So he was supposed to be in 1A. Mm-hmm. There was an old white lady in his seat. Mm-hmm. So he was like, I think she's in my seat. Talking to my other coworker, and he looks, and he's like, "Oh, 1 Delta. I'm sorry, 5 Delta, still in first class, but the last row of first class." He sees that seat is open, and everyone is on. So he's like, the lady is kind of like, "Oh my gosh, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know I was in your seat." And he's like, "No, it's okay, ma'am. I can sit here. It's not a problem. It's not a problem." And he goes and sits and minds his business. So it was just
that in the book.
So it was just
called Hustle Harder. Just get the book. And
yes,
he talks about a flight like that. He talks about that flight.
Wow.
Either he talks about it or you told me that story before.
He was making a point. So it was just like I could see the duality of his personality. Is what I'm saying. Of where I get where you're coming from. Where if you are in the streets, because he was in the streets, you do have to give a certain personality persona in order to, accommodate that type of circumstance. Let's circle back.
Okay, let's get back on the date.
Right. Do you think you have one true love, or can you have multiple?
I would hope you don't have one true love, because I feel like at some point everybody's been in love before. So if you feel like that was your true love and it's gone, that's what I'm gonna say. It's more than one. Like you said, I like how you said that people meet you on certain levels. Yeah. Different seasons, people meet you at the season you need to be met for your certain needs, if that's the right person. So I feel like everybody can be loved if they're receptive to it. You gotta be open.
Even if you think about marriages where people have been married for 20, 25, 30, 35 years, they say there have been good years and bad years. There have been times where they sleep in different rooms. Right. And it's not because they don't love each other, but they're on different levels. And then some kind of way they just come back in line and it's harmonious all over again. And it's not because something messy happened. I think it's just that we don't grow like this. Right. We grow like this. Right.
And so, to your point, I'm going to answer, but to your point, 2 people reached out to me on my story. One couple that has been married about 35 years. One being Linda Kaylee. That may be a familiar name. She's on our network. Shout out to
Empower Network.
She said a person can most definitely have multiple true loves.
Absolutely.
That's from a person that's been married 35 years.
Yeah.
Then I had another person say to me, respond to a story on my personal page. He's been with his wife about 30 years, married 20 something years, and he said most definitely you can have multiple true loves. Yeah. So I found that very interesting for people that have probably been married more than half of their lifetime. You get what I'm saying? Right. And so I would like to think, from my personal perspective, I would like to think that you can have multiple true loves, because I never even fell in love until I was over 30. And I feel like I was a late bloomer in regards to that.
That's deep.
You get what I'm saying? And of course, I'm not with that person anymore, so...
You never felt love until you was 30?
I've never been in love until I was 30.
So,
I've loved, but never been in love.
So let me tell you why. Because, and tell me if I'm right or wrong, but I've been studying this thing as I've been healing myself. So, men won't allow themselves to fall in love until they feel like they can be, as Steve Harvey says, the protector, provider. And
so that wasn't my case. Let me tell you why.
Definitely heard that though.
Yeah, no, I've heard that.
Like they'll be like, I'm not ready.
I don't want to date you.
I'm a romantic. I'm naturally that guy. Like I'm naturally like now everybody don't get that. Let me be clear. You know what I'm saying? So depending on who you ask, they they're like, I wish you was show your emotions more. But someone who has experienced that may look at it like, girl, I always experience that. I'm used to that. That's what you get what I'm saying? So everyone don't get it, but naturally I'm emotionally aware, right?
Right.
I'm emotionally intelligent, so I can naturally be romantic and naturally be open to love. However, everyone has not been in the space in order for me to give that out, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So I have only experienced being in love one time in life, and it just so happened to happen after I was 30. I've loved, but never been in love until that point.
How did you know the difference?
Oh, it's way different. Because really, you will settle on certain things that with other people you wouldn't even think twice about. You wouldn't even think twice about. You be like, you sneeze? What?
I'm out.
I'm out. But this person is over here, right? This person is over here hacking, coughing, sneezing, running. Girl, let me make this better for you.
Right.
It's like it's one of those things where it's almost indescribable that you could be so open to that person. Now, whether they're deserving of it or not, that's a different conversation. But it's just you have that connection with that person. And that's why I say it all depends on the timing, because maybe I'm in a space in order to even give that. Right?
But honestly, that's why I say when you say it's a time, because it's been certain points where a lot of times I'll be like, look, I'm not looking to talk to nobody, I ain't with it, I'm focused on
When you
this.
get big.
But
that's when it happened, right?
That's what I'm saying though. So it's like when you say you gotta be open to it, like when I said it, sometimes you don't have to be. Sometimes the love can be brought to you and you're not even ready for it. No way. There you go, and make you ready. Cause I be, I don't.
And the reason is they may bring something that you've never experienced, right? And that's why it goes with the timing, because the other person may have liked to rub your feet too, right? The person that you didn't really love, he might have rubbed your feet.
He just didn't rub it like that.
He didn't rub it like that. It wasn't. He ain't put his little thumb in there and did the little. You know what I'm saying?
He didn't talk to me while I was.
See, that's what I'm saying. So it's like people can do the same things, but it's just how being conveyed and who it's being conveyed from. Because someone can walk up to you and say, "I love you," and really feel in their heart that they love you. But if you don't have that connection with them versus someone else who may not even treat you how the other person could treat you, but it's just a connection that you have. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? So that was I think we all agree we can have multiple true loves. So recently on social media, we seen on the Shade Room, there was a platform, we'll say another podcast, that had a conversation. And it was a conversation amongst men with a woman who also was being interviewed, right? And this is a woman who, for lack of a better word, has some type of status where she's an entrepreneur. She also has a social platform, so she's well known, okay? And so the conversation came up, and if you didn't catch our live, make sure you catch it, because we talked about Monique. The comedian Monique came out and said, basically, I love y'all, but y'all women need to stop wearing these bonnets, slippers, and pajamas out in public.
Last night, y'all.
She said y'all need to stop wearing these in public. Represent yourselves. It's not about the white man. It's not about you picking up a man. Represent yourself to the best of your ability.
I'll be in a bonnet and a onesie.
Praise God.
Bonnet and a onesie at the cash register.
Praise God for Jesus.
But what time is it?
Look.
It don't matter what time it is.
It may be 10, 11.
Don't
it may be 11 a.m. in the morning, 10 a.m.
Jesus.
Look.
So.
And if I'm going to a party and you got to go get your makeup done or something, you think, bonnet? Gotta take a shower before I. Look.
So let me get to the situation. So the conversation came up and about women dressing a certain way, especially on social media, And so the woman actually said, dress how you want to be addressed.
Right.
Okay? So I'm going to just lay this out and then I'm going to let y'all get to it. So there's two sides of this. Monique's side of, look, just be presentable, right? You don't have to have your hair did, a full, I don't know, the lace front or the 15, the something piece. 27 piece. I'm a grown man.
I don't even know what that is. Look,
I'm like, this is the profession right here. So I was like, I don't even know.
I'll look that up later. So 27 piece. All right.
So you ain't even got to have all that. At least be in a position where you are the best representation of yourself. So even if you got on sweatpants, at least show that you value yourself, right? And so that was Monique's perspective. The other side of it is, if you are showing titties and booty, right? Why would you expect a man to come to you in a certain way? This was the perspective that the woman gave. I'm just laying it out there. Why would you expect a man to come to you and say, hey, you look like wifey material? I'm approaching you in a way that says, yeah, you look like you're respectable, like you are the woman for me. So, hold on. Let me just lay it out there. That's the perspective that was being said. So, whenever it comes to dress how you want to be addressed, y'all clearly have a lot to say. Make sure y'all like, share, comment, subscribe. Share this with your friends, family, auntie, uncle, nephew, niece.
Can I just do a small... Kimmy, I won't let you go. But let me say this first. On this topic, as an addendum to what you said, there is never a reason for a man to use the way a woman dressed to sexually assault her. I just want to make that plain, simple,
That's
clear
where I wanted to get
before we want to jump into this conversation. Because as you were talking, I just know some people's like, well, she was dressed like it. That is never.
So let me...
That's judgment.
No, that's beyond judgment.
That's beyond judgment. That's never a reason to...
There's never a reason... No one can appear a certain way that would give you any right or reason in order to act out of character, in order to assault someone, molest someone, anything like that.
Right. I just need
There's
to
nothing.
put that
So
out
that,
there, 'cause that's what
I think we
that's
can
what
blanket. I think that's a blanket statement.
Yeah.
So we can say that, but beyond that, let's remove that aspect.
I just need to put it out there.
No, that's fair. That's fair. So let's remove that aspect and just on the premise of dress how you want to be addressed. A perfect example of that. Amber Rose came out with the slut walk years ago. Your face says you didn't know about it. Great. So let me put this out there as well. She came out with the slut walk. This is not something she made up. This is something that was done in Canada. It's done yearly, I believe. And it's called something similar to the slut walk if it's not the actual slut walk. But it's basically women walking and marching in very
Provocative
clothing in order to say I can dress the way I want to dress,
And still
but
be a
you
hoe.
still...
That's what they be saying. I'm a slut. Look, what is a slut?
See?
Don't
See?
get mad. What is
See?
a slut?
Hold on.
I'm a woman.
Let me lay it out there. Hold on. Let me lay this out there. So, she's saying the purpose of the slut walk is that I can dress how I want to dress. That does not mean I'm a hoe or a slut based upon the way that I dress.
It's bad communication.
And so,
That's a mix.
dress how you want to be addressed is basically saying that same thing, but on the other spectrum of it. Don't dress in a provocative way if you don't want someone to address you in a way that says you don't value yourself, so why should I value you? That's what
That's my problem, though.
That's judgment.
Right.
Why? Because
So
I
say.
have on a onesie or a bonnet.
Mm-hmm.
You think I'm less than you? I literally
I don't think it's
just
less
woke
than.
up and I didn't feel like putting this is me now. I would literally, oh shit, I need something from the store. I ain't about to get dressed real quick because I'm coming back home and chill. I'm gonna jump. Tooth's gonna be clean. Teeth gonna be brushed. But I'm gonna run to the store and come right back.
So I don't think it's a
in that
less
time-
than conversation. I think it's I'm going to approach a woman differently versus just you in that scenario. Women who may have a bonnet on and some slides or slippers with the furry thing. Y'all know how women be doing.
You think you don't like them?
I'm just saying. And you show up in your PJs or some whatever, versus a woman who is dressed a certain way, you know, looks like she's well put together, at least shows value. So, in general,
Value is in the eye of the beholder.
True. However, most men, not all, most men will approach someone differently if they see you not valuing yourself based on their experience and perception of
There are
value.
standards of not value.
Right.
Because
So,
you can't tell me
let's
just
come
because I
back.
got that on, I'm undervalued or I don't value myself.
So let's come back.
Okay.
The dress how you want to be addressed. Are you saying for men and women on how you want to be addressed by them or just the general public?
I think it all coincides together.
Okay, because you said most men.
Oh, it was based on Kimmy saying what she said.
Okay, so
when
let
she
me
goes
tell you
to
what
the
I
store.
saw the other day based on what Kimmy said.
Okay.
Someone did a post. I'll never know where it came from because I just get to scrolling. And it said, guy says, what you got on? What makes you think anybody want to approach you like that? Her response was, who said I was looking for your approach? I'm out here getting groceries, going back to the house because I'm PMS and in pain.
Fair.
But you feel like I had to get dressed to think about all y'all coming to the store.
No.
Now I will say there's different. I think
It's different ways to look at it.
it's different ways.
But
to
if you
look at
don't,
it.
what did she say? She was in pain. So you think I feel like putting on some makeup, putting
Right.
on some eyelashes, getting dressed, putting on some shorts, some socks, some heels to go?
So,
No!
hold on. I gotta
No.
take up for the men. To be fair, most men don't even know what foundation is. We don't know what contour is.
I don't know what all that is.
Hold on. Let me finish. Let me finish.
His name was
We-
name I don't use.
We don't know, and I've heard of those things, but I can't tell you what they do. Right? Lee just showed me eyebrows that she just did. She's very talented, very skilled. Praise God for Jesus. She's able to do all that. She was like, yeah, this is how she looked before. This is the after picture. I said, oh, that looks real nice. She looked real skilled. I said, I can barely tell the difference if I'm being honest. That ain't, I'm fully straight. Oh, man, 2 times on Sunday. I really don't know all those things.
Shout out to the manly man up there. We need you. We need you. We right.
I'm just saying, I don't really know.
I was sharing with the wrong person.
Right.
But I appreciated
Right.
you sharing in order to say, hey, this is what I've been working on and I'm getting better. Because that's really what she was trying to
It's
say.
good to see what a man sees the difference in, too.
Right. And I'm saying a lot of things that women value, men don't even value.
Right. Oh, yeah,
because
I know
most
that.
men,
I know that.
here's the
Come
thing.
on.
Here's the thing. Most men, you putting all that makeup on, we really want to know what we're going to look at when we wake up next to you. That's really what we
So is
want.
that where the
Nah.
whole thing is about?
No, that's
Nah,
100% true.
Nah, I know some people. I think we had a conversation. If it wasn't with you, I definitely had a conversation about that. And the men were like, the same way I met you is the same way I want you to be at all times.
That's
If I
not
met you with makeup
realistic.
on, I want you
But
to be
is
makeup.
That's not realistic.
But are they married?
Right. They clearly haven't been in real relationships. You ain't gonna wake up to
And I
a
always
woman
say
being
the
on
whole
in makeup.
Yeah, he said no, so I'm trying.
Yeah, it wasn't me.
What show? I don't know.
I think with that, How I Met You, I think that's that Kevin Samuels crap.
Okay, so that was not you when I was talking about Kevin Samuels.
We talked about
we
Kevin
didn't talk about
Samuels,
that.
but I, as a person that has lived with a woman, I've never expected my woman, for me to wake up to my woman and she has a full face of makeup.
But that's exactly what Kevin Samuels was on.
Right. But I'm just saying for
Yeah.
me. And most
So
of
he said, yes, we had the conversation, but that's not my point of view.
Right. Because I mean, and if I'm being honest, just in general, most of the women that I've dated don't even wear like makeup like that. You know what I'm saying? Like even when we go
He's
out.
feeling attacked. I'm not attacking you. I'm just asking.
No, I'm not
I'm just trying to double check. Was it you?
No, I don't feel attacked.
Was it you?
It wasn't me. I mean, we had the conversation, but I've never been that person because I prefer a natural beauty anyway. Because here's the thing: one thing women can do is change up their whole appearance in order to remember. I'm gonna get you, sucker. Remember that back in the day.
Don't make me hop after you.
I mean, women can change just about everything, whether it be for the permanent or for the just now or just now situation. Women can change up everything. Men, there ain't much we can change up.
If a nice haircut.
A nice haircut, but if you ugly, you pretty much stuck with ugly.
You gotta put some nice clothes.
You know what I'm saying? Or money, or you need some money.
Good personality.
Yeah. So
Look. What this way? Okay. Look.
So
You want me to try it? Want me to reel it in?
No, reel it. Right.
Reel it in. All right.
So catch the live if you didn't catch the live. So with that being said, when it comes to women in general, for me, speaking for me, I want you to dress as a good representation of yourself. And most women, for me, I can only speak for me, most women who are attractive to me can be in sweatpants, hair pulled back in a ponytail or a bun, no makeup on, because if you're naturally beautiful, you're beautiful. And I'm attracted to that.
So you gonna talk to her with sweatpants and a bonnet on?
100%. Not a bonnet. Whoa.
Why does the bonnet throw you off?
No.
Whoa, you said he was a redder.
I'm sorry. Let me
The
clarify.
bonnet throw him off?
That bonnet is disrespectful.
Why?
Women,
I wanna know why.
as for me in my house.
So we should be
You said
alright
you caught me
to
on
meet
me
a
in my
man with a do-rag?
Look,
No, you shouldn't.
I'm asking the question.
No.
with the wave cap.
I don't. You all right?
I almost flipped this whole
Number
table.
two.
Look,
Put it on the floor.
we gonna praise Jesus.
So
Look.
for me, no. When I was a
I'm
kid,
gonna put this right here.
when I was a kid, I did childish things. You get me? So yeah, I would walk out the house with a do-rag on because I thought it was a style.
Oh,
Back
you
when
said childish. You coming for me with the money?
no, I'm talking about me. I'm talking about me.
Okay.
So I think it's when you said childish. I'm not saying childish, but in that context,
Mhm.
if we take it back to dress how you want to be addressed.
Mhm.
If you're not trying to be addressed, it don't matter what you have on. I was sitting here listening, and I'm like, I would not leave the house with a bonnet further than going to the parking lot to go to my car and come back in the house.
Mhm.
Yesterday, I was ready to get in the shower, threw some clothes on, and walked to the car, and I still felt naked because I just felt I was under my clothes exposed.
Right.
Look, y'all don't take pictures. Y'all see me with one on.
But even back in the day when I would wear sweatpants, because they don't make them long enough after you wash them one time. But when I would wear sweatpants, I don't see anything wrong with the sweatpants and a t-shirt going to the store. I don't wear a bonnet. I wear a scarf, but even when I would leave the house, I would still put on not a bonnet, but I would wrap it up with a ball. You know what I'm saying? I would just
I've
make
done
it
that
look
too.
different.
I worn a bunny and put a hat on top of it.
Right,
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
I'm
For some
okay with
reason-
that. I'm just saying. Here's the thing. For me, this is my
So are
Tony
you
G
saying that
opinion.
just the whole, I just don't give a damn what I look like. That's the problem.
That is what my perception is of a woman that walks out the house in her PJs and or bonnet. That's my position.
Right, at the moment, probably so. They probably
Okay,
do
so
that.
here's the thing. Do you believe you walking out in a bonnet, your PJs and slippers, do you think that's the best representation of who you are?
No, of course not. The
Okay.
best representation, though.
Okay.
But the representation of how I feel at that moment, hell yeah.
So
it's the reason why I got that on. Whether I'm tired, I worked a long ass day. I feel like, and I gotta make a run. I'm put that on.
I
And the
circle
confidence
back-
myself. And I feel like if you got a bonnet on, you're securing yourself. It's the difference. It take a lot. Look at what you said. You felt naked, all the judgment you get for wearing a bonnet. Oh yeah, it come with a lot. But
So
look,
if y'all
I'm
haven't
still
seen
right.
our live, we
Look.
talked about Monique.
I'm keeping it G.
We talked about Monique and her position on the bonnet.
Now
right?
I will also say this, going back to what you just said. I think when I've been single for a minute,
Mhm.
just in the past 2 years is where I'm like, okay, I'm ready to mingle. That's why I felt uncomfortable. But when I wouldn't stay nobody, baby, What you
If
see?
I'm like, do
What
I-
you see?
I've definitely done it in a relationship.
So let me ask this. Let's flip it. So the women on social media who are basically naked, okay? They have the 500K followers. Some of them almost 1 million followers, okay?
Social media influencers.
Social media influencers. They basically have nothing on. Some on OnlyFans. Praise God for the OnlyFans congregation. Okay.
You say praise God for him? Oh.
Listen, everyone's a child of God. You understand? You just may not answer the call,
Okay.
but we gotta still praise God for you. So, for the people, because it's not only women. There's a lot of men out here, clout chasing too. Do you think that they should expect a certain type of energy, and excluding rape, molestation, anything surrounding that? Do you think they should expect a certain type of energy from the opposite sex or same sex for those that it applies to?
This is not going to go well with a lot of people.
I missed that.
This is not going to go well with
You missed what I said?
I tuned out. I don't know. I'm about to
think
see if
that
I got
people
it.
feel like they have to. I see what you're saying. Sometimes these influencers, they have everything popping. They go get all the surgery so they can be this Barbie doll.
Okay.
Comparing themselves to the Kardashians because of that. There are some women who are my age. They're like, yeah, I'm gonna get my snatch in the waist because I've been working out in that fupa
It ain't
hasn't gone
went nowhere.
anywhere.
Mhm.
It's a to me, there's a difference there.
Okay.
But I think for people who do all of that and then wear all these clothes, they need to work on their inner selves.
Okay.
Because if they don't get the attention, talking about, ooh, mommy, you look good and all this stuff, then that may bother them. For some people to feel beautiful, they need to hear that.
Okay,
I see
so,
what you're saying.
but do you
Okay, I see what
think
you're saying.
they should expect different energy?
What do you mean different?
Okay, so for a lot of
Because that's
people,
the only energy.
no,
they're
I'm
gonna
about
get.
to I'm about to tell you. For a lot of people, for a lot of men, not all men, I'm clarifying. Understand? I'm
He's
clarifying.
not categorizing.
Not categorizing. If you are naked, halfway naked, you're showing titties, you're showing booty, and that is consistently what you do. You are known to do that. For a lot of men, they will not approach you in a way that says, hey, you're a black queen. Girl, I can see myself taking you to my mama. Come here, let me learn something more about you. I want
Not
to get
just
to
like
know.
that, no.
But that conversation could be different, right? As opposed to a person or a woman that may be more conservative in a way, right? To a certain degree. Well, let me get it out. More conservative. Not saying she's fully clothed with a turtleneck and
Thank you for
a
clarifying.
nun. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying
That you can't see her heart.
you can't see her heartbeat. So it leaves some room to the imagination, right? It gives the perception that you value yourself to a certain degree.
Can I interject? So when you were mentioning this before about curves and stuff like that, I've had a situation where I sang on the praise team, and I'm sure when the young lady mentioned it, she didn't mean anything by it, but this is how I took it.
Okay.
When you are naturally curvy
And she cold bottle, y'all. Go ahead.
and in an appeasing way,
Curvaceous.
The responsibility lies a little different than someone
it
who's a
just
stick
lies
figure.
because my thing is,
It does.
well, can we not wear clothes that are tight? They're not tight; they fit. If
Yeah.
I wear something bigger, I'm gonna stand up here and look like a
A
bum,
bloom, like
Yeah.
you're gonna
and
blow
I'm not
away.
gonna look like a bum. So I think that goes to what you're saying. It's because you started to say more conservative. I think you can be sexy and mature. You can be sexy and young, but then you can be sexy and sleazy.
Right. I'm agreeing with
There
what you're
is-
saying. There's a difference.
There's a difference, and it's about how you walk, about how you
Right.
carry yourself. I think you can be sexy in a bonnet and a onesie. I've seen young girls go to the. I've been in Walmart with.
Let me ask you, as the man on the platform at this moment, you are not sexy with your bonnet.
Then
Let
why-
me tell you,
Then
you
why-
are not sexy
Then
with
why-
your bonnet.
I
Look.
promise you.
Look, I was
all
about to
my
go
life,
real
when I
X-rated.
stayed
I was about to
in
go real
my
X-rated.
in Vine City, went to the Walmart on Martin Luther the King. Girlfriend was pulling them. Niggas was breaking their neck.
I'm saying,
right,
like,
sideways. But what did she have on?
A bunny.
She had on a Winnie the Pooh onesie and a bonnet.
Yep.
So here's the difference.
And it don't mean they hollering for no coochie. Look, fast lane. It don't mean
Can
that.
I help you? Can I help you, mama? Can I do this? Can I do that?
I had them be the most respectful.
I'm gonna let
with
y'all
my
finish.
bonnet on.
I'm gonna let y'all
With
finish.
my bonnet on.
Can I interject?
I'm just saying.
We just saying.
So, yes, they may have seen something that was very attractive to them.
Hidden.
No, it's not hidden.
It's in a onesie.
No, there are plenty.
So basically, what you're saying, it wasn't hidden. It was just like a woman having on a summer dress. What y'all call them?
A sundress.
A sundress.
No, let me tell you.
Okay,
I'm gonna tell you exactly what it is. She may have had a onesie on with the bonnet. I didn't say that you wouldn't be attractive to the point where you would not get attention. You can get attention. It doesn't mean that it's good attention. Just because a dude says, "Hey, mom, you looking good. Let me holler at you," does not mean that's the type of nigga that you want to be with.
Both ways.
Hold on. No. Let me
Let me
finish.
finish it.
So if he comes to you, let's say you have the bonnet and the onesie. Yes, maybe aesthetically you have the curves in the right place. You coat bottom figure. You know what I'm saying? You got all the curves in the right place. True enough. I'm saying, not for all men, but in general, there are a lot of men who will look at you and be like, okay, yeah, I just want to smash.
I just said that.
Yeah, you look good, I want to smash. It doesn't mean I'm going to walk up to you and value you in a way that says, oh, I see you carry yourself a certain way, so I got to come at you a certain way. I ain't going to come to you and be like, hey, ma, what you up to? You know what I'm saying? The conversation is going to be different. In general, a conversation is going to be different. If you are walking around and you have your titties out and your booty is out and you showing all the skin except for the parts that they have to blur out if you are on national TV, the conversation for most men is going to be different as opposed to a woman who is covered up but has natural beauty and curves, and she doesn't have to go out of her way in order to show that. The conversation is going to be different because you're carrying yourself in a different way. Now, is it right or is it wrong? We can debate that if you want to debate it, but I'm just saying in general, a man is going to address you the way you dress. That's just the way it is.
Now, could you relate this to treating a janitor different from the principal?
Absolutely.
Yes.
I don't treat neither one of them different.
And you shouldn't.
People who do.
It's okay. There we go. It's some, not all.
But here goes the nuance to what you just said. I know janitors, right? I know janitors who carry themselves a certain way. That says
both ways.
No.
For me, I'm saying both ways.
Listen to what I'm saying. I know janitors who carry themselves in a way that says I value who I am, and you have no choice but to value me as I value myself. And if you don't, keep it moving.
But it can be the attitude, not the clothes.
Exactly. Listen.
But the attitude can be in the way you
walk.
We can
you said the way you walk.
Way you walk. We
You're
can
talking
all
about walking, not clothes.
And appearance.
Listen, we can all have the same thing on, right? Be looking like the same person, but all have a different mentality. We will stand different. Our face will be different. All that'll be different. That's what he's saying.
And most people, and this is
and that's why you get attention with your bonnet. And I was going to say it earlier, but I was just going to let it drop. You might get attention and valuable conversations with a onesie and a bonnet because it's here, it's in the way you walk, it's the way you handle yourself, it's how you move that shows them, oh, she just making a run. Versus people who sitting there like, this is how I'm doing it, and they did it. Like, that's, you say that out your mouth, but I've watched you since you've gotten here. That's not who you are.
So, and let me also say, we said this before you got here. We said this before you got here when we did the live. If y'all didn't catch the live, make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe. So, most people, not all, most people carry themselves based on how they feel. And a lot of people feel the way that they look, right? So I say that to say, for me as a man, when I get a haircut, you can't tell me that I ain't LeBron James, cause I went and made the winning shot. And you know what I'm saying? You can't tell me that I ain't Diddy with $1 $250 million because that's just, it makes me feel good. You know what I'm saying?
Case in point, from behind the chair.
Right.
I stopped doing sew-ins because people were keeping their weaves in so long that it was damaging their natural hair.
I believe that.
There is an argument that getting a weave or a wig does not change who you are. That is a bold-faced lie.
I believe that.
People who aren't confident in their own skin, aka hair, you give them a nice weave, it's gonna change who they are.
It changes
They're
them.
more confident. They're more willing to step up, speak to people who they weren't gonna speak to because they know they fly. I mean, period, point blank. But it's the same thing.
Right.
For people who are confident without it, you're gonna see that no matter what you have on. You can have a Jerry curl from 1982.
Right. But aesthetically.
And still carry yourself the same way.
Right.
But you, Jerry curl, 1982, a t-shirt, some leggings, and some beat up tennis shoes, and you got bonus weave.
Right.
And somebody put y'all right next together
Right.
wearing the same thing, they're gonna know that you're not confident, no matter how you look. But this person is confident just because of how they carry themselves.
Right. All right, that was some great conversation. Make sure y'all give us some comments. Let us know your feedback. What do you think? Should a person dress how they want to be addressed, or do you think it shouldn't matter? Let us know in these comments. If you haven't liked it, make sure you like the video. If you haven't shared it, make sure you share it. If you haven't commented, of course, we want to hear your feedback. So now we're going to the most infamous fishbowl. All right? Yeah, all that. So we're going to get into it. I'm going to go to Alycia first. Then I'm going to go to the Queen Kimmy. And then I'll go last. All right?
Fishbowl, no fish smell.
First of all, we rebuke the fish smell in the name.
In the name.
In the name. We rebuke that. All right. And the number doesn't matter. I know there's numbers. The numbers don't matter. Just read what it says.
Shake, shake, shake.
Shake
Shake
it
it
like
like
a
love.
Hey.
Love.
What is the worst pickup line you've ever heard or used?
So she's talking to Lolo. What is the worst pickup line? Go ahead.
Oh,
Do have to
I
give
got
this
one.
I can't think about that.
You
Because
can't.
they all be funny to me.
Oh, I got one. Can I do one for her? Can I answer hers?
Go ahead.
Look, so I was at the airport and I had a dude come, a white guy. I gotta say he white because it makes sense, okay? So he was headed to his flight. So I'm like, oh, you need help? Can I direct it? He was like, yeah, I'm looking for some dark meat. Yeah. Yeah. And I was sitting there, I said, well, Popeyes is right there. He said, no, that's not what I'm doing. What you mean? My friend did this. Oh, me? That's what you said. I'm good. What? God. Are you serious?
Hilarious.
He was
Oh
real
my
wide.
God.
He
That's
was real
hilarious.
wide. Surfer boy wide.
Oh my God.
All right,
Why me?
since you didn't answer that, you gotta pick another one. That's hilarious,
Look,
though.
okay.
Wow, I wasn't ready for
It
that.
happened,
I'm not
y'all.
good with on the spot stuff.
See, hey, this is what the fishbowl brings.
What is the best relationship advice you have ever received?
Ooh, I know you can do that.
Relationship advice?
It's on her. It's on her. She
I'm
gotta
thinking
answer
of
this.
like,
Best relationship advice I've ever received.
Or given. We'll say or given.
I
or
want you.
given.
Because you got a whole.
No, because you a promotional, motivational.
Yeah.
Nope. I want you to, what they give you? What did they tell you to make this a rise in you? Okay?
So
Go
what
ahead.
they give me,
Mhm.
what I've been given is the best one is you have to know the things that you'll be willing to deal with. Because there's always going to be something that gets on your nerves. So once it gets on your nerves, think to yourself, will I be able to deal with this for the rest of my life?
Forever.
Case in point, one of my friends, her husband plays video games.
I love video games. Okay, go ahead.
And I was just like, he always playing the video game. She was like, yeah, but he does that.
And she knows
But
where
I don't
he
feel
is
like
at
that
night.
And that's his, I get off work and play video
Yep.
games. And I was
I know
like,
me
wow,
like that.
I never thought about that. I could deal with that. If that's just, when we were talking about blowing off steam earlier,
Because you could be in the club.
that's the way you
Strip
blow off
club,
your steam.
right.
That was the bit. You have to know whether you can tolerate it or not tolerate it. Because the small thing that gets on your nerves just a little bit will get on your nerves a lot.
Later
in the
on.
future.
It multiplies once y'all live together.
Yeah.
Amen.
Oh, look. I just see 10. We're just gonna go with 10. What has been your most proudest moment? This is easy.
That
That's an
is.
easy
So that
question.
means mine is about to be extra spicy, clearly. Go ahead.
Proudest moment. Shoot, I have many. I'm just proud to be up this morning. God woke me up this morning. I'll be proud of stuff like that. So, I mean, I can go on and say, jumping radio, doing that, starting a show, being on the show with you, her. You know what I'm saying? Us doing this business. But I'm thankful God woke me and my family up. So that's my proudest moments every day.
Amen. Can't argue with that. Can't argue with
Full
that.
health, restoration. Hallelujah.
All right.
Yours is small, but
Yeah.
Oh, these are all good ones. Yeah.
It's all okay. No spice. What's your biggest regret in life? My biggest regret.
Trying to think of mine too.
Yeah. So
I know.
I
know now.
I don't know if it's my biggest regret, but I do wish that in my 20s, because I definitely traveled the world in my 20s, like literally, the world.
Love it.
But I do wish that I would have pursued music a little bit more. And I think because in my family, I come from a musical family, so where my aunts and uncles have sung with everyone from the Clark sisters to Shirley Caesar. I have multiple cousins who have either been signed to record labels or have their own record labels or have music videos. You know what I'm saying? So I come from a naturally musical family. So it's not looked at as special, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like, oh, you can sing? Yeah, so can everybody else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not really that special.
It's not too late.
It's not.
Thank you.
Now here's the thing. Here's the thing. The other side of it is, I've done background from, recorded with Troy Sneed, God bless his soul. I've done background with Kim Burrell. So I've experienced, but I can't say that that's necessarily my dream as of now. But I do wish that in the moment where that was like my thing,
that you pursued it.
I wish I would have pursued it a little bit more. Does that make sense? So I guess if there was any regret, that would be my regret. Yeah.
That's cute.
So, well, I am kind of cute. Get my
say
angles.
all
Get
that,
my
ladies.
angles.
But
So on that note, we appreciate y'all joining us. Make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe. This has been Kings and Queens Talk,
I've been
and
looking for
we
someone that's gonna hold a king crown. I've been looking for somebody that would make me feel complete. I've been looking all my life, I wonder